Translating the lines. Today is 18th of May 2011. As far as I am concerned, our existence as a modern human manifests itself in three different aspects: body, mind, and spirit. The physical aspect of our existence is based on a single basic instinct, which is an urge to live forever. In order to respond and to satisfy this instinct, we look after our physical body. That means we feed it, we shelter it, we save it from any intruder or enemy. But the nature has provided us with another mechanism which can prolong our existence after this physical body is dead. That is the reproduction mechanism, which helps us to pass on our genes to another creature. So our characteristics manage to find yet another chance to live and survive after we die. To be. This fundamental instinct of us is the engine behind our existence, which motivates us to have the desire to live forever. There is a mechanism, however, which makes this desire realized. I call this mechanism curiosity. There is a checkout mechanism which makes sure that the curiosity is doing its job as well. I call that mechanism self-awareness. Our self-awareness screams out our basic instinct, wishes. That is to be loud and clear at all time. From the beginning of our lives, our curiosity mechanism endeavors to respond to that call and satisfy our basic instinct, which is the desire to exist forever. Here I am, believe me, O my self-awareness, that I am alive. Believe me, O universe, and whoever lived within it. Here I am. And I employ my curiosity to help me to carry on living forever and evermore. When I was born, my curiosity helped me to search for my mother's nipples. Before then, my curiosity helped me to search for the egg which was waiting to meet me inside my mother's womb. And I managed to be the first sperm upon millions who found that egg, making love to it and saying, here I am. My curiosity always made me to move and search. Movement, therefore, is the life of a search. Movement means changing the position of a phenomenon against a constant point. In my case, the center of the gravity of the earth. Any movement leaves an invisible line, a trace form behind. An invisible line or an invisible trace form. Creation of the invisible lines proves that I am alive and present. The totality of the invisible lines which I managed to create throughout my life forms my identity. Therefore, our curiosity is a mechanism which makes being possible, We search for food, we search for shelter, we search for security in order for our body manage to live long. However, living is not good enough for me. My basic instinct wants me to live forever. I therefore, before I die, as I mentioned earlier, endeavor to pass on my characteristics to another creature, my offspring, so my genes can live forever in their body. The curiosity mechanism helps me here too. It helps me to find the most suitable partner who is the carrier of healthy and strong genes. Hence, my genes would have the best chance of survival. The sign of health and strength in a carrier disguise themselves as beautiful and attractive features. The repetition of acknowledging these disguises leads to creation of beauty standards. Hence, we search for signs of beauty in the opposite sex, which manifest themselves from the invisible lines of the body, the visible lines of their body and the invisible lines of their movement. Movement is changing the position of a phenomenon against a constant point. I mentioned that before. The center of the gravity of the earth in time. The trace form of visible and invisible lines could be registered either in the form of hard copy, visible art formats, or soft copies, the canvas of our memory in time. Finding suitable sexual partner is only 50% of the battle. The other 50% is to win his or her approval, which means we have to convince them that we are also strong and healthy partners. In other words, we should look beautiful and attractive to them as well. That means we endeavor to look beautiful at all times and to move beautifully at all times too. The repetition of this process makes us to develop eyes for beauty and sense of appreciation of beauty. This development makes us to highlight the beautiful features of our physical body, which are defined by a set of visible lines. We also demonstrate our health and strength in action by creating beautiful invisible lines of movement which become more and more stylized. And our eye for beauty and sense of appreciation for it is evolved as a result of repetition of this procedure. Developing an eye for beauty and skills to create stylized lines become the seed of arts and religion. The evolution of curiosity takes us further than its primary reason for existence, searching for food and partners, Together with the development of each and the appreciation, together with the development of searching and the appreciation for beauty and the response to our desire for live forever, we begin to ask philosophical questions. As mentioned earlier, repeated behavior which would lead to desirable results established the mechanism of cause and effect on the canvas of our memory, and that creates invisible lines of thoughts. In modern human, the invisible lines of thoughts together with the invisible lines of together with the in the modern human, the invisible lines of thoughts together with the invisible lines of patterns of behavior or movement and visible lines of appearance form our identity. Hence, we as modern human find a new string to our bows of existence. Invisible line of thought, that is the new strings to the bow of existence. From here on, in our encounters with others, we endeavor to express the totality of our identity, that is the visible lines of our physical body, the invisible lines of patterns of our behavior and movements, and the invisible lines of our thoughts. We also expect others to prove the totality of our identities as well. In choosing sexual partners, the mental capacity and mental health also become a selective factor. As a result, we begin to exchange thoughts and ideas, and we all means of communication, both verbal and non-verbal. And all means of communications, both verbal and non-verbal. Evolution and development of these aspects of our identity makes us to take off from physical aspects of our identity and begin a journey of its own. We begin to form a group of like-minded people, regardless of their physical identities. Communication and exchange of thoughts and ideas on unlimited number of questions leads us to science, philosophy, and religion. We also, as mentioned earlier, develop verbal and non-verbal language, visual and performing arts, literature, and various aspects of technology and communication with others. It is understood that the origin of all arts is the invisible stylized line of movement, which are in need of a medium to register the trace form of their movements. Some media are in form of hard copy, which manage to register their trace form of the invisible lines using hard materials, for example painting, drawing, photography, and some are in form of soft copy using the canvas of the memory, to register the trace form of the stylized invisible lines of the movements, such as dance, music, and performing arts. Since the origin of all art formats seems to be the same, it could be concluded that they are all manifestation of the same human instinct, and that is to be forever.